All right, welcome. Today, we're going to take a look at 4 postcards sent back from the near future. They're 4 totally different breakthroughs that, at first glance, seem to have nothing to do with each other. But trust me, together, they paint a really fascinating picture of what's just around the corner. So let's dive in.
I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi novel, right? But these aren't just what ifs. Each one of these questions points to a real, tangible innovation that's already starting to reshape our world, from how we get around our cities to how we even understand life itself.
So, here's our roadmap. We're going to kick things off with a totally new kind of transport on the water. Then, we'll meet nature's tiniest and maybe most surprising surgeons. After that, we're giving our robots an upgrade with vision inspired by us. And we'll wrap up by seeing how cold, hard data is toppling decades of medical belief. Okay, first up, let's head to the water. So many of the world's greatest cities are built on coastlines and rivers, right? But we often think of that water as an obstacle, something to build a bridge over. But what if it was actually the solution to traffic jams and noise pollution? Check this out. This is the Candela C8. And yeah, it looks like it's floating on air. And, well, in a way, it is. This is a flying electric boat. It uses these things called hydrofoils. They're like underwater wings that lift the whole boat right out of the water once it gets going. And the result? It's this incredibly smooth, incredibly silent ride. And here's the magic number. Get this. By lifting up and out of the water, these hydrofoils slash the drag and energy use by a staggering 80% compared to a normal boat. That huge leap in efficiency is what makes powerful, long-range electric boats not just a cool idea, but something actually practical. And this really lays out the difference, doesn't it? Your typical boat is just chewing through fuel, making a ton of noise, and leaving this huge, disruptive wake behind it. These new hydrofoils, they're nearly silent. They create almost zero wake, which is a huge deal for city waterways. And they are just unbelievably efficient. It's a total rethink of how we travel on water. Okay, now from the big, bustling waterways of our cities, we're going to zoom way down, like microscope level down, into the world of insects, where a truly mind-blowing medical drama is playing out every single day. So what you're seeing here involves the Matabele ants in Africa. When one of these soldier ants gets injured fighting termites, and we're talking serious injuries like losing a leg, it's not just left for dead. Nope, a buddy carries it all the way back to the nest, and there a surgeon ant gets to work, meticulously cleaning the wound and then applying this powerful antimicrobial stuff that it makes in its own glands. It's literally a battlefield triage system. It's incredible. And if you're wondering if this actually works, well, the numbers are just jaw-dropping. Without any treatment, only about 30% of the injured ants make it. But with this specialized medical care, the survival rate skyrockets to 80%. This is not an accident. This is proven life-saving medicine. Now, you might think this is all about some kind of ant empathy, right? But it's actually just pure, cold, evolutionary logic. As the researcher Dr. Eric Frank puts it, in a giant complex society like an ant colony, every single member is valuable. Saving an experienced soldier makes the entire colony stronger and more successful. Turns out, nature figured out organized healthcare a long time before we did. All right, let's switch gears completely. From the ancient wisdom of the natural world, we're jumping to the cutting edge of the artificial. We all hear about AI, but, one of the biggest hurdles for robots is just seeing and reacting to the world as fast as we do. Well, a new breakthrough is taking its cues directly from our own brains to solve that. So right now, the way most robots see is with something called optical flow algorithms. Basically, they have to analyze a video feed frame by painstaking frame to figure out how things are moving. And the problem is, it's super slow and it hogs a ton of computing power. It's just not very efficient. But, that's not how we do it. Our brains are way smarter. We have this amazing built-in shortcut. Think of it like a bouncer for your eyeballs. It's called the lateral geniculate nucleus, or LGN. And its job is to sort through all the visual noise and highlight movement before that information even gets to the main processing center. So researchers basically built a computer chip, a neuromorphic chip, that copies what the LGN does. It acts like that bouncer. And the result? Whoa. It processes motion information a full 4 times faster than the old methods. That's a massive leap forward for robotic perception. And listen, this isn't just some abstract lab experiment. Faster, more efficient vision is a total game changer for everything you see here.
We're talking about self-driving cars that can react instantly, factory robots that can work more safely next to people. This is a foundational piece of tech for the next generation of robotics. Okay, for our last postcard from the future, we're bringing it all the way back home. To us, to human health. And we're going to look at a moment where massive amounts of data are forcing us to question a medical belief that's been around for decades, one that affects millions of people every year. You've probably heard this one, right? For years and years, there's been this prevailing belief and a pretty common fear for expectant parents that inducing labor makes you more likely to need a C-section. It feels logical. You're forcing something, so of course it's going to lead to more interventions. But what does the data actually say? Well, it turns out that deeply held belief, that piece of medical dogma that we all kind of just accepted, it's wrong. The data says a clear no. Let's look at the proof. So the evidence comes from this huge gold standard study called the ARRIVE trial, and the results shocked a lot of people. For the group that just waited for labor to start on its own, the C-section rate was 22%. But the group that was induced at 39 weeks, their rate was actually lower, just 19%. And look, the big takeaway here isn't just about this one procedure. It's this incredibly powerful reminder that in science, and especially in medicine, what we think we know, our gut feelings, they're not as important as what we can prove. Big data can cut right through old assumptions and show us a better, safer way forward. So there you have it, 4 snapshots from the frontiers of innovation. You've got silent boats, ant surgeons, robots with smarter eyes, and medicine getting better thanks to data. The thing that ties them all together, it's just human curiosity, always pushing at the edges of what's possible. Every one of these breakthroughs came from someone looking at an old problem from a totally new angle, whether on the water, under a microscope, or deep inside a spreadsheet. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible ideas are out there, just waiting to be discovered, hiding in plain sight? Thanks for joining me.